Good evening. Tonight we find ourselves at a crossroads in American history, a moment that feels both familiar and utterly unprecedented. It's November 28, 2025, and America is living in a bizarre economic paradox. The streets are alive with the usual holiday bustle. But beneath the surface, something is deeply off. The nation is split, not just politically, but economically, and the divide is growing more pronounced with each passing day. On one side, Wall Street is celebrating record profits and soaring markets. The trading floors are electric, filled with cheers and the sound of champagne corks popping. For investors and the financial elite, these are the best of times. Portfolios are swelling, and optimism is at an all-time high. On the other, most Americans are struggling. 61% living paycheck to paycheck, worried about every unexpected expense. For millions, the end of the month brings anxiety, not celebration. Families gather around kitchen tables, not to toast their success, but to figure out how to stretch every dollar just a little further. The stock market is detached from the reality of ordinary people. While the numbers on Wall Street screens climb ever higher, the numbers on household budgets barely budge, or worse, slip into the red. The prosperity of the market feels like a distant mirage to those facing rising rents, medical bills, and stagnant wages. For the first time in decades, economic indicators are telling two completely different stories. One set of data paints a picture of robust growth and opportunity, while another reveals hardship, uncertainty, and a sense of being left behind. Economists and analysts debate the meaning, but for everyday Americans, the reality is clear. The market's prosperity is a world apart from the daily grind of rising bills and stagnant wages. The luxury cars parked outside the stock exchange are a stark contrast to the families juggling bills at home. It's as if two Americas are living side by side, yet worlds apart. The gap between Wall Street and Main Street isn't just a gap, it's a chasm, growing wider every day. The wealthiest see their fortunes multiply, while working families struggle to keep up with the basics. The American dream, once a unifying force, now feels out of reach for many. The stock market has become a game for the few, while the rest watch from the outside. Exclusive events and insider deals dominate the headlines, leaving ordinary people feeling like spectators in an economy that no longer works for them. This isn't just a statistical quirk, it's the defining feature of our era. The numbers tell a story, but so do the faces behind them. The hopeful, the anxious, the determined, and the disillusioned. How did we get here? What forces shaped this divided reality? Tonight we'll dig in, unraveling the story behind the numbers and exploring what it means for the future of America. America's confidence is split in two. Investors and fund managers are euphoric. 70% expect stocks to keep climbing. Meanwhile, household confidence has cratered to levels not seen since 2008. 64% of U.S. households struggle to cover basic expenses. While Wall Street pops champagne, Main Street stretches every dollar. Consumer credit card debt has hit a record $133 trillion. The personal savings rate is just 4%. The median household has less than $5,300 in savings. The market feels invincible, but most Americans are one bad day from financial disaster. This isn't just a feeling, the numbers prove it. The disconnect is staggering. The game is rigged from the start, and the stakes have never been higher. If this all feels familiar, it should. The sense of unease, the headlines filled with uncertainty, and the anxious glances at financial news, these are not new. We've seen this movie before, and the plot rarely changes for the better. Before every major crash, 1929, 2000, 2008, markets soared while the real economy faltered. The numbers on the screen kept climbing, but beneath the surface, cracks were already forming. The disconnect between Wall Street and Main Street grew wider with every passing day. The Roaring '20s, the dot-com bubble, the housing boom, these were all times of wild speculation and growing inequality. People believed the good times would never end, pouring money into risky ventures and inflating bubbles that were destined to burst. Each time the warning signs were ignored until it was too late. Experts raised concerns, but their voices were drowned out by the euphoria of easy profits and the hope that this time would be different. Today, the gap between market wealth and real financial security is even wider. The stock market may be breaking records, but millions struggle to pay rent or put food on the table. The divide between those who have and those who have not has never been more stark. Wealth is more concentrated than ever. A handful of individuals control fortunes unimaginable to most, while everyday people face mounting bills and shrinking opportunities. And the contrast is impossible to ignore. We've mixed the worst elements of past crises, speculation, debt, and inequality, into one dangerous cocktail. Risky bets are being made with borrowed money, while families juggle debts just to get by. The ingredients for disaster are all here. The market's paper wealth hides deep economic rot. Behind the glowing numbers and bullish headlines, entire industries are struggling and communities are being hollowed out. The red flags are everywhere. Foreclosures, layoffs, and empty offices are not just statistics. They're warnings that something fundamental is broken. This isn't just history repeating, it's history amplified. The stakes are higher, the imbalance is greater, and the consequences potentially more severe than ever before. The lesson? Ignoring the warning signs never ends well. Every time we look away, the cost grows, and the fallout spreads further. We're running out of time to listen. The clock is ticking, and the choices we make now will shape the future for generations to come. Will we finally pay attention, or will we let history's echoes become tomorrow's reality? The core problem: costs are skyrocketing, but paychecks are stuck. Every month it feels like your money disappears faster than ever, no matter how carefully you budget or how many corners you cut. For millions of Americans, the math just doesn't add up anymore. Since 2010, the S&P 500 soared nearly 300%, but wages grew just 52%. The wealth generated in the markets hasn't trickled down to the average worker. While investors and corporations have seen record profits, the typical paycheck has barely budged, leaving most people feeling left behind. Median incomes lag far behind what they should be. Even as the economy grows on paper, real families are struggling to keep up with the basics. Raises, if they come at all, are often swallowed up by rising expenses before you even notice them. Essentials, housing, healthcare, education have outpaced inflation by a mile. Rent and home prices are at all-time highs, medical bills can wipe out savings overnight, and college tuition keeps climbing, putting the dream of higher education out of reach for many. The result: working harder just to stay afloat, or even fall behind. Over time, side hustles and second jobs have become the norm, not the exception. People are burning out, sacrificing time with family and friends just to make ends meet. Dual-income families feel more stressed than single-income families did a generation ago. Juggling work, childcare, and household responsibilities leaves little room for rest or joy. The pressure is relentless, and it's taking a toll on mental health and relationships. The American promise, that hard work pays off, has been broken. For many, the belief that each generation will do better than the last feels like a distant memory. The gap between what we're told is possible and what's actually achievable keeps growing. The game is rigged and the house always wins. The rules seem stacked in favor of the wealthy and powerful, while ordinary people are left to play catch-up in a system that wasn't built for them. And now, the house is literally buying up all the houses. Big investors and corporations are snapping up homes, driving prices even higher, and making it harder for regular families to own a piece of the American dream. The squeeze is real, and it's getting tighter. Every dollar has to stretch further, and tough choices are becoming a daily reality for more and more people. The cost of living is a runaway train. Prices for food, gas, and everyday essentials keep climbing, and there's no sign of it slowing down. And most Americans are stuck on the tracks, watching the train barrel toward them, hoping for a way out before it's too late. Homeownership was once the heart of the American dream. Now, it's out of reach for most. Since 2012, home prices have jumped 126%, while incomes rose just 41%. Over a third of consumer spending now goes to shelter. 61% of renters under 40 believe they'll never own a home. The culprit? Institutional investors, Wall Street and private equity, own nearly a quarter of single-family homes in major cities. Their model: buy homes, rent them back at a premium. We're becoming a nation of renters, not owners. When landlords are faceless corporations, community ties break down. The American dream isn't dead. It's been bought, leveraged, and rented back to us. And the consequences go far beyond economics. If the economy is booming, but most people are struggling, where's the money going? upward, fast. Since 2010, $80 trillion in new wealth was created, over 70% went to the top 10%. Corporate profits are at record highs, but that money isn't going to workers. Instead, $10 trillion has gone to shareholders through buybacks and dividends. Buybacks inflate stock prices, benefiting the wealthy. Workers create value, but Wall Street cashes in. The system is designed to funnel wealth upward. The engine of inequality is running at full speed, and it's leaving most Americans behind. So, what happens next? This isn't the apocalypse, it's a reckoning. The split between markets and people is unsustainable. Every bubble bursts, every imbalance corrects. The only question is, how? Slow and managed, or sudden and painful? The system is stretched to its limit. Triggers could be anything. Geopolitics, a bank failure, or a policy misstep. The IMF is already warning of global uncertainty. When the reset comes, it won't just hit investors, it'll hit everyone. Portfolios, pensions, jobs, and confidence will all take a hit. The illusion of endless wealth will vanish. This isn't about predicting a crash, it's about preparing for the inevitable. The reset is coming. This isn't just America's problem. The world is deeply connected, and US policies send shockwaves everywhere. The new US tariffs are a sledgehammer to global trade. China's growth is slowing, and deflation looms. The IMF warns the global system is resetting after 80 years of stability. Global growth forecasts are down and recession risks are up. Trade wars and retaliation are unraveling decades of cooperation. The uncertainty freezes investment and disrupts supply chains. The fire started here, but it's spreading fast. We're all in this together, and the stakes are global. After all this, it's tempting to despair, but this isn't the end. It's a reckoning. The first step is seeing the break for what it is, not a glitch, but a fundamental shift. On a personal level, get out of high-interest debt, build savings, and focus on real value. The rules are changing, old strategies won't work. On a societal level, this is a chance to ask what kind of economy we want. Do we serve the market or the people? Every great imbalance in history has resolved, painfully, but necessarily. The reset of 2020 is a wake-up call. The illusion is over. The reckoning is here. What we build next is up to us. Thank you.